look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. Try to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray. I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way.
By the way, for everyone listening, the heat map that you see on the screen right now is the 1 hour heat map. That's how nasty this action is with the announcement from the Department of Justice. What is up, everyone? My usual overachieving self is coming on a little bit earlier than I had expected. For those of you not in the know, well, firstly, I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for hopping in on this impromptu live stream. The story goes like this so far. News broke less than an hour ago about international cryptocurrency action statement. This coming from the U.S. Department of Treasury and the Department of Justice, everyone. All right, once that announcement hit, once that announcement hit, the markets flipped heavy red. Right now, a lot of people are speculating settlement talk with XRP. I doubt it. Let me tell you this. If there was settlement action with XRP to the positive side, okay, I'm talking about to the positive side, I think the leaks would have had XRP rallying to the green. But right now you can see broad pain in the markets. Right now, just so you guys know, this is the 1 hour chart for the heat map right now. So I'm going to keep it on the 1 hour because I really want to see what the action looks like. I might switch it over to the 24 once they start talking. But right now in the 1 hour, you can see Bitcoin down about 3.5%, ETH down 5%, BNB getting rocked. Some of the other alts out there, Solana, DOT, AVAX, Jesus, wow, down big percentage points, 9%, 7.2, 7.4 respectively. You've got XRP down 5.3% with XLM right now down 6.35%. Just throwing this out there, all right? We do not know what this announcement is. I have scrubbed the news up and down, left and right. There have been no leaks that I have seen about what's going to happen. But I can tell you this, if this was something good for crypto, you would have seen more positive action like this. And I can tell you right now that this was timed. The action that we have seen for over the last week, okay, was super green. They waited for things to be super green to stick yet another knife into crypto, and we're watching it happen right now. What's up, Final Kens? I'm glad you are back. Remember, sir, please talk till you choke for me, because I got to be sober Susie right now as I train hardcore and ramp up my training. What we're waiting for right now is at noon. We have the Department of Justice, all right, who's going to be doing their press conference. I have two feeds set up. I've got their YouTube feed as well as their direct feed from the Department of Justice ready to roll once this action happens. I will let you know as soon as this stuff breaks. We will switch over to their feed. As soon as we switch over to their feed, let me know what you think of the sound. Actually, the music that I was just playing before this, let me know, was the sound okay for that? Because that's my current volume input sound right now. Let me know if that was okay. I can kind of crank it up just a little bit, but I want to save a little bit of the volume just in case we need it, just in case their feed is small. Michael O2 chimes in, is it anything to do with venture capital? I hope to God it is not a ban on venture capital putting money back in. I hope to God that's not happening, because venture capital has been putting money on the sidelines very heavily since the back half of 2022 leading into 2023, and we've been waiting for venture capital to dive back into it. Final Ken's loving it, my good man. Totally loving it. It sounds awesome. Final Ken says, love the drive, bro. I'm coming off a 1 month tolerance break, so I'm getting so fried. Dude, that is rockingly cool. Yeah, I'm right now in my lactate threshold and VO2 max threshold part of my training. I may skip town here pretty soon. I'm obviously not today, but I may skip town here soon so I could get some high altitude training in, head out west, something like that, do some snow mountain climbing, you know, because I love that kind of stuff. But I'm training super hard right now, so I'm being total sober Susie. Final Ken's also chimes in, also very grateful for your channel during these things. It makes the bear market more enjoyable to do these things with the community. I totally agree. The community, the support that I've seen from all of you guys, the comments, the overwhelming positive comments was awesome. It's helping out, because you guys know, right? The crypto community as a whole has just been pummeled. Content creators, fans, we've all just been ripped into every freaking video I post. There's people down there ripping on crypto, ripping on what I do. And you all know that I have put in the last several years, a lot of time in my life in the last several years, covering crypto with over 1,000 videos, live streaming every chance I can, educating people on what is going on. So when I see that, Ken's, it helps you out knowing that you got a community behind you getting you through these times. It's a two-way street, my good man. It helps me out as well. Sloan Love says, no doubt if it was sped up by FTX again, which is the big crypto's fault for not self-regulation. Shadow Smith says volume is good. Yep, 100%. At some point, the crypto community is going to have to start naming who they are. Hint, we know who they are. Dude, here's the problem. All right? The crypto community right now is facing an onslaught from multiple directions. The one we are covering today has to do with the Department of Justice and the U.S. Treasury Department. Now, when you have the U.S. Treasury Department involved, it makes me wonder if it has to do with stable coins. It also makes me wonder if it has to do with traditional securities companies being banned from any participation in crypto. Or this could even be something where they busted a major ring and they're like, hey, look, let's pat ourselves on the back and let's knock down crypto. We got Vegan to BB Justin chiming in saying hello back. Hello at you, Justin. How are you? The markets right now, though, are overwhelming red. I mean, this is an absolute beating. This is actually worse than what we saw when the FTX crash happened. When the FTX crash happened, it was not as fast as this. This was faster than any of us could keep up with. Here's the problem, all right? When this story broke, I did a short about it, and I did a post on Twitter. And for those of you that don't know, follow me on Twitter, because if you want to, you don't have to. But follow me on Twitter, because I do break this stuff really quick on Twitter before I get a video out. And so I did. I posted this about an hour ago, and I can tell you that from that time, my phone has going like crazy, just lighting up like a Christmas tree. And right now, what we are doing is we are waiting to see what the Department of Justice has to say. So let's get to those comments. Andy's chiming in. What's up? Andy says, hey, Klaus, hi, community. What's poppin'? Take my hand and let's get through this together. Yeah, we're going to need it. We're going to need it, because I think if this was something positive settlement-wise, you would see action regarding that, and you're not seeing that right now. You are not seeing that at all. Anthony Turner says SEC wants revenge for FTX, so they're going to go after Binance at some point. My bet, and I could be totally wrong, because like I said, this came out of nowhere. This was not on my radar. This has not been on the radar with anyone else that I'm in contact with. My thinking is this. Either we're going to see something big with Tether, which, oh, crap, you know what I mean? The next thing, all right, that would be on my mind is Binance. That would be the other one. I would see them doing something banning, saying Binance from the United States, Binance money laundering, something like that. And we got Molt Media joining us in the house. What's up, Molt? How are you doing? Good, sir. And from what I hear, Molt, a lot of people say that the West Coast is the best coast. So shout out to all my West Coast friends out there. We got a lot of you out there right now wondering what the F is going on. And right now I've got the heat map set to a 1 hour time frame. I may jump to the 1 day time frame once they start talking, because I really kind of want to capture like the overall delta that's been happening. But man, if things go bad, it won't matter at all. And everyone, please say a good hello to Molt, who's joining us in the stream. Yeah, Jimbo Tango. Jimbo Tango's got the right idea, and that's where I'm with Jimbo on this one. Jimbo says, hey, if it was good news, it would be under the radar, no announcement. Exactly. There is no way you would see any public positive announcement with XRP settlement right now. They would not want to do it. That would like them purposely rubbing egg on their face. They're not going to do that. If it was good news regarding the settlement, you would hear a small thing that, you know, we through the community then would spread with each other. So, no, I'm with Jimbo on this one. I do not see this being anything positive. I really don't. What really scares me about this has to do with not only the Department of Justice, but the Treasury Department as well. That bothers me. That bothers me a lot, all right? That the Treasury Department, because think of what the Treasury Department tackles with. I mean, we could be thinking of Tether. We could be thinking of venture capital pausing limits. We could be talking about a major ring being busted where they're like, hey, look, you know, with all of this laundering going on, we can't take care of it. I mean, this is a mess. This is an absolute mess. I repeat, I do not see any way that this could be positive right now. If it is positive, all right, and let's talk about this really quick. Let's pretend that this announcement is positive, all right? That would tell me that the market is so fragile that any news, even the thought of news, it's that soft that we would dip red. But what we've seen recently, though, is the market has been leaning to the positive side of data, right? So if data comes down on the midline, the market last couple weeks has been leaning on the positive side. But now we're leaning very, very heavily on the negative side. And I love the comments here. Sniff says, Klaus, do you think it may be 2 to 3 years before you see Bitcoin reach 69,000? Nice number choice right there, Sniff. Yeah, it's going to take some time. There's not enough capital right now. Money's too expensive. And when I mean money is too expensive, when the Fed raises those interest rates, I want you to think of what that does. That makes home loans more expensive, business loans, auto loans, credit cards. That just makes money more expensive. And remember, it's not just U.S. Fed. This is Feds all across the globe. So when they make money more expensive, it's you don't want to take as risky bets, okay? So think of when like the Fed basis level was super low, right? Near zero. It was so cheap to borrow money and expand your business at that time. That's why like the tech stocks and growth stocks and stuff like that were roaring during the early phase of the Rona Rona because money was so cheap to expand. But now think of those same risky business practices. Would you want to deploy capital in risky business practices as the basis point goes up 300, 350, 400 basis points, 500 basis points in total? You wouldn't want to. So what happens is you need money to become cheaper, which means the rates have to come down. Rates are not going to come down in 2023. We may see a leveling off of rates, but they're not going to come down in 2023. So yeah, I do. I think it's going to be 2 to 3 years before we see Bitcoin big action happening. G's XRP says the west coast of Florida. Yes, well done, sir. Well done. And right now, some of our favorites are taking an absolute beating, with XRP down 5.7%. This is in 1 hour, everyone. Check out the time frame up on here. 1 hour. XLM down 6.5% in 1 hour. Yes, Tim, you will not see any official mention until noon. That's why I said this has been a very hush-hush quiet thing. I'm waiting to hear what we get from them. What is the worst? Kenji Man 88 says, what is the worst case scenario with this announcement? Worst case scenario is they're taking down Binance or Tether, which is going to short-term, hear me out, everyone, short-term destroy the market, similar to what FTX did, right? Because think, those are bad players. And don't think that Binance is not a bad player. Every crypto exchange out there is in deep trouble, right? They're all fake in the funk right now. The problem is Binance has enough bags to kind of fake the funk long enough. What's the phrase? Fake it till you make it. That's what Binance and a lot of these exchanges are doing. So we clawed our way out, okay? We clawed our way out from FTX. So if this is a bad Binance or if this is a bad Tether thing, you're going to see the markets come back down. But remember, we'll claw our way back up because of use case and utility, right? You have to flush the bad players out first before things get better. It's just the only way you have to do it. And we know that more pain was going to come, right? Remember I kept talking recently in videos about being cautiously optimistic. You know what I'm saying? Cautiously optimistic. Yeah, you got to be cautiously optimistic because there's still a lot of bad players out there. And let me just swing on over to here real quick. And like I said, at noon, okay, we've got 12 minutes right now until the announcement happens. All right, so Coinbase stock is down quite a bit. Silvergate, holy crap, Silvergate is getting crushed. They're one of the main crypto banks out there in the U.S. Let me look up a favorite of mine. All right, I see that happening here too. Sorry, I'm just taking a look, everyone, at all the action right now. A little bit of red candlestick action. Okay, cool. All right, so basically right now, and NASDAQ too, let me just do a quick refresh on NASDAQ. NASDAQ, yeah, seeing some softness since the announcement as well. Okay, so it is spilling very little bit over into tech, but with crypto taking the main beating right here. And right now, you could see it on the screen. Alts are getting destroyed. Alts are completely getting destroyed, way worse than your Bitcoin. Shadow Smith says, agreed, no leaks, not a single word anywhere at all. I suspect you're right, it's an exchange, let's hope not, but there's some reaction. Yeah, if it's not an exchange, I mean, maybe it's even rules as saying, hey, venture capital cannot participate in crypto, or U.S. venture capital can't participate in crypto. I did a story earlier today about the strength of the U.S. economy and its in how it ties into XRP. Think about that. So XRP, let's just pretend XRP banned from the United States completely, right? That's 25% of global GDP where that's taken out. If the U.S. does the same thing across the board, big problems here. Big problems. Let's see. Well, she says, not going to lie, I cashed out for now. As if the market gets destroyed, I'll rebuild. And if it shoots back up, I'll rebuy. And should even out maybe a small loss for me. That's the best call. Yeah, right now, I mean, you're seeing some heavy dumps right now. heavy dumps, man. I mean, some of these, like the one that caught my attention, and let's be real here, Solana's been soft. Ever since the FTX thing, Solana's been soft. Near Protocol down as well. Double digits down 10%. Avalanche, you're talking almost 8% right now. Jesus, things are red as could be. So right now, the big fear is that this has to do with some sort of stopping, right? Some sort of stopping of action completely, because you have the Department of Justice as well as the Treasury Department. YSC says you know nothing. Well, yeah, no kidding. I'm not the Department of Justice, so no, I wouldn't know anything. For those of you out there that are just chiming in, we had an announcement that came across the wire. It's about an hour, 15 hour, 20 minutes ago that said the U.S. Justice Department will announce a major international cryptocurrency enforcement action. On Wednesday, it said in a separate statement, adding that the U.S. Treasury Department will also be making an announcement. And earlier, Final Ken said, hey, it's great to have the community backing you up as you go through hard times like this. Remember, I'm going to be dealing with people like YSE all the time that want to rip into people out there covering the crypto and Web3 space. You know what? Doesn't really bug me, because I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep working harder. Yeah, Tim Bates, that's my thinking is when they say Treasury is involved, that kind of makes me think about Tether. That really, really does. That makes me think about Tether. Now, look at the people who are making this announcement. U.S. officials, including Deputy U.S. Attorney General Lisa Monaco and Deputy U.S. Treasury Secretary Wally Adeyemo, will deliver remarks. All right, so you've got two really big people coming out here and talking. All right, when you go over to the DOJ's page, you can see some of the stuff is done by minor announcements by people, but this seems like a really big one, and it has been extremely quiet. Zavin and Little Gav says, is this announcement being streamed anywhere? Yeah, it's being streamed here. It's going to be streamed here at 12 p.m. Eastern time. We've got 8 minutes. Nico chiming in, and thank you out there to all the channel supporters and members. I appreciate it. Nico says, hey, all, what's cooking? DOJ party pooping all of our gains. That's right. This was totally timed. The crypto market was on a tear here for the last several days. I did a story this morning, and my lead-off statement of the story was, this is 4 days in a row that I woke up in the morning, wetted my whistle with a little bit of water, checked the heat map, and Bitcoin was above 21,000. That's 4 days in a row, all right? Now, all of a sudden, you see, they came out, and even the announcement, just the announcement that they were going to be talking about international cryptocurrency action sent the market in red. For those of you asking me, should you buy a dip? That's all up to you. That is all up to you. That is not up to me and what you do with your money. I am here to provide you the news so that you can make the best decision out there. Maurizio says, Klaus, I think XRP will jump at 30 cents. Time to buy. You'd have a ways to go to get to 30 cents. You would have to see an erosion of pretty close to 20+% on top of what we've seen. But then again, man, if they ban tether pairs in the United States, I mean, that could be bad. That could be real. That could definitely send the market on down even further. For those of you out there that thinking this is an XRP settlement to the positive side, the DOJ would not, I repeat, would not announce a settlement that would benefit XRP positively, publicly. That would be like rubbing egg in their face publicly. There is no way in hell they're going to do that. Also, you would know leaks would be coming out, right? Because you know as well as I do that there's always leaks. Hell, even the Supreme Court had leaks with the whole Roe v. Wade decision, right? So there ain't no way that this would happen. This is something that has been kept under wraps. This is definitely been kept under wraps, and I'm loving the comments and loving the jokes, you guys. Loving the support as well. As we have 272 people watching, make sure you hit the like button and share this with other people. As soon as the Department of Justice goes live, I will be jumping over to their feed, and let's see if they have anything else coming up on here. Nope, we're just waiting for this action right here for the DOJ. Everyone, you don't want to speculate. But when you see action like this, when you see markets make moves like this, heavy moves to the negative side, just on an announcement of an announcement, that's a very soft act, very soft market. Eli Israel says, I looked up the word cool yesterday and had my man calls listed several times. Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Shadow Smith says, could they have already taken an action and not a word has been released? What are the odds, you think? You know, that's the thing. If action was taken, I think you would hear something about it one way or another, right? You would see something leaked out there, something, okay? Maybe not necessarily what they did, but there would be a derivative of their action that would be leaked in, and that would get exposed. I mean, think about this. When you had the Roe v. Wade thing happen, that was leaked. That's the Supreme Court. So, I mean, if you've got leaks with the Supreme Court, I mean, that's just how it is. The other thing, too, is with, you know, like Ripple lawsuit and all that, all the attorneys in that, they all get their tweets out quick. They're all very, very, very quick. So, for me, I'm sitting here thinking, I wonder if it's Tether or Binance. I seriously wonder if the United States is doing something big, stopping U.S. citizens from getting involved with crypto in one way or another. The thing that bothers me the most about that, though, is the United States will just continuously shoot themselves in the foot because they're not giving updated rules and regs to crypto. And remember, I did a story about a week ago that said there were 3 things you could do with crypto, okay, going forward. You can ban it, you can regulate it, or you can contain it. This right now has definite marks of containment, okay? And what I mean by containment is you want to keep crypto out of traditional finance systems. Remember, every time that we've done these live streams, all right, you have seen what is the thing that Congress, Senate, and all those banking and, you know, committees talk about? How proud they were that this never went over to traditional finance markets, all right? You could definitely see this as being a way to contain, all right? Contain crypto into the crypto space and leave it outside of the traditional finance space. No, I have not heard about the bill proposed by Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. I have not. Confliction M says, can this be the make or break in crypto coins? The strong will survive. Boy, the market is not reacting positively at all. I mean, this is just rough stuff. I'm going to switch here real quick, everyone, to the 24-hour look on the heat map just to take a better look at things because 24 hours, we're pretty much past the announcement right now. So we're past that hour announcement range time period, and we're waiting right now. We've got 2 minutes. Oh, Jimbo, good one. Jimbo Tango says, if they announce a limit on crypto to accredited investors only, this will be very, very bad. Yeah, this would be it too. That would just choke capital out of crypto so badly. And we are waiting for them to go live. That should be happening now here any moment as it is 10:58 and they should be live here in about 2 minutes. Nico says SPX is peaking also. I don't think it's crypto specific. And that's kind of where, you know, you have the Treasury Department coming out, right? So with the Treasury Department coming out, I mean, that's kind of a mess. That is a total mess right now because that could really spill over into capital inflows. And I think that's where the biggest pain could be happening. People are panic selling. This is for sure. This is panic selling based on the announcement of an announcement. Think about that, okay? The announcement of an announcement is panic selling right now. We've got just about 1 minute until the feed happens. When the feed happens, I will jump on over. All you guys got to do is let me know how the sound is. And please do this. Please hit the like button to share this so that it does better on the algorithms. And share this with anyone else out there that's into crypto because this announcement is going to be crypto widespread. Yeah, this is an absolute bloodbath on action right now. Absolute bloodbath on action. And like I said, DOJ is coming out just shortly. As soon as they do, I will be sure to share it with you. Oh, man, I was really hoping for more green candlestick action. But, like I understand and like we all know, you're not going to have green candlesticks every day. It does not work that way in markets. It doesn't matter if you're in housing markets, business, any traditional finance-based things. We always have red candlesticks that we have to just get through. All right, so we are going to be waiting right now for them. If you guys got any questions, hit it up in the chat. And when they go live, I'm not going to be ditching you, but what I am going to be doing is I will be muting my mic and I will go into chat mode only. As the DOJ talks, I'm going to flip back and forth between the heat map here, okay? Just so we can have a better idea of what's going on. Give me a second. Let me get that set right now. Give me a second here. So let's copy this. Dun, dun, dun. Hold on, guys. I'm just getting us all set up here. Let's do this one right here. Let's paste, hit it, and let's do this. Let's shrink this bad boy on down. Department of Justice right here. We're going to go with the secondary heat map screen right here. There we go. Clean it up just a little bit. Get rid of their junk ads that they got. All right. So now what we will have is the Department of Justice along with the heat map up on the screen, and we are just waiting for them to go live. Anytime now, Department of Justice, please, anytime now. Let me switch on over to their YouTube page to see if they've got anything rocking right now. Nope, nothing as of yet. Just waiting to go on with the action here. Hold on, let me see. I'm going to switch things up a little bit. Hold on. Sorry, I'm just getting everything set up so we could do this and catch them out live. When you see the Treasury speaker list, you know it's a big deal. Yep, that's what I was thinking about too. That's exactly what I was thinking too. As soon as I saw Treasury listed, I was like, oh crap, dude, this is a mess. This is an absolute mess. Like I said, just waiting on the press conference from the Department of Justice. They're actually a little bit late. Does anyone else have a tertiary feed for the Department of Justice? Let me see. Let's go Fox Business News. Hold on, everyone. I'm just trying to see if they have this coming through here. I wanted to see if they have even like their camera turned on yet so we could see it. Give me a second here. Just taking a quick look across everything because it looks like we do have time until the DOJ gets on the mic. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in silent mode right now. I'm going to blur out my camera here real quick. Give me a second. And then what we will do here is we will swoop on over to their stream. And if any of you guys have right now a feed that even has to see if the people are approaching the podium, please let me know so that I can share that action with you. Man, and they're not being too timely, are they? No, and so for anyone else out there, does anyone else out there have a feed of them on the podium at least? Because as of right now, they still have nothing going on with their feed. So we're just waiting for the DOJ to go live at any moment now. Of course, government agencies not being, I don't know, the most prompt, the most poignant, huh? Nico says, I bet you anything there's like 1 billion crypto peeps around the globe overloading their servers right now. That's my guess too, is that's exactly what's happening. So I'm just going to keep refreshing, see if we get anything from them. But I have a feeling right now that they are, not that they're delaying it on purpose, but they're getting everything set up before the announcement to make sure they got all their ducks in a row, because this came all at the last second. And right now the crypto market is still redder than red, with big pullbacks from all of our favorites out there. Right now, by the way, I have the 24-hour heat map listed. I might switch this up to the 1 hour, and you know what? Let me do that. Let me just switch it up to the 1 hour to see what happens when they start talking. Let's minimize this here really quick. So we're going to see what the DOJ has to say here as soon as they go live. Let me see. CNBC live stream. Let me see if I can find that. CNBC live stream. I just want to see if they're even at the podium getting it ready. Because if they're not at the podium getting it ready, then hey, I'm not worried about their feed. All right. No, I don't have that stupid provider. No, I'm not going to connect it to my TV right now. I don't want to do that, you morons. Come on now. All right, just waiting to see if anything is happening. Right now, I have not seen anything come across the DOJ site. They are not the most poignant. Let's put it out that way. All right. And if anyone has seeing a feed that is live that has them out there, please let me know. But everything I have right now does not have, yeah, they're not even covering it on theirs right now at all either. So we are just waiting for them to go live. And by them, we are talking about the Department of Justice. All right, let me go to this right here. Sorry, I'm just checking because they have two different feeds. They have a feed through their YouTube page. They also have a feed directly through the Department of Justice. And again, they are a few minutes late right here. We are just waiting for them to go live. Until that time, if you guys want to ask any questions, now would be the time, because as soon as they go live, we will switch on over. Whew, man, oh man, oh man. Sorry, I'm just looking at the red heat map right now, and it is not looking pretty at all. All right. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to grab some water, wet my whistle a little bit. I will be right back. All right, and here we go. They are not, so far I've got a live stream right now. I've got it up on my cell phone. There is no one at the podium right now. So they do have the feed going, but there is no one on the podium. Yep, and that's what I'm saying is, so they're not going to actually put the feed on until people start talking. So until then, we've got a little bit on time. Yeah, Twitch, I just saw that. I've got it right now too. PBS News Hour. Give me a second here, everyone. Unless you guys want to stare at a blank podium. Oh, look at that, my good man. PBS News Hour. Here we go. Let's go to their live. See, if you want to look at a podium, you're welcome to. That's what I was saying. The feed is not going to start from them until it is live on the part of the DOJ. So yeah, if you want to we'll look at the people here on the podium. We'll switch this up. We'll put a little heat map here. That way you guys can look at the podium and see that we're all currently waiting for the podium. Kind of ironic, isn't it, everyone? Oh, here we go. Here we go. We are going to be going live. I'm going to mute this one real quick here. We're going to switch it on over. Here we go, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks all for being here. Today, the Department of Justice
Good afternoon, everyone.
has dealt a
Thanks all for
significant
being here.
blow. Today, the Department of Justice has dealt a significant blow to the crypto crime ecosystem. Justice Department agents and prosecutors, working in partnership with the Treasury Department and French law enforcement, have disrupted Bitslotto, a China-based cryptocurrency exchange notorious for laundering criminal proceeds from the dark net. And last night, agents of the FBI arrested Bitslotto's founder, Anatoly Legadimov. I am joined by the United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, Breon Peace, FBI Associate Deputy Director, Brian Turner, and the Deputy Secretary of the Treasury, Wally Adeyemo. Today's law enforcement actions put all of those who seek to exploit the cryptocurrency ecosystem on notice that the Department of Justice will use every tool, working along with our partners, every tool that we have to attack the criminal use of the dark net and cryptocurrency. And we are taking steps to address the crisis of confidence in the cryptocurrency markets.
And just to let everyone know, this is not my feed. They are having massive sound problems on their end. I'm gonna go to the DOJ site to go directly to see if we can get theirs. Everyone's feed right now is bombing out, and I have a feeling it's because of how many people are watching.
But today,
here we go.
Thanks to a coordinated international effort, Justice Department prosecutors and agents have disrupted a busy corner of this criminal ecosystem. Last night in Miami, FBI agents arrested Adeyemo, a Russian national and the founder and majority owner of Bitslotto, a Hong Kong registered cryptocurrency exchange. The charges allege that he operated Bitslotto as a high-tech financial hub, as he put it, that catered to, quote, known crooks. Bitslotto failed to implement safeguards required by U.S. law, safeguards that enable law enforcement to detect and to investigate financial crimes. Instead, Bitslotto facilitated the transmission of hundreds of millions of dollars in illicit funds, fueling darknet marketplaces, and laundering the proceeds of ransomware attacks. For example, as alleged, Bitslotto was a crucial financial resource for the notorious Hydra darknet market, the disruption of which I announced from this podium last April, at that time with our German partners. Now, Hydra was the world's longest running and largest darknet marketplace, responsible for 80% of the world's darknet transactions. Together, Hydra and Bitslotto formed a high-tech axis of crypto crime. Hydra buyers funded illicit purchases of illegal drugs, stolen financial information, and hacking tools from crypto accounts hosted at Bitslotto. And sellers of these illegal goods and services at Hydra sent criminal proceeds to accounts at Bitslotto, all to the tune of over $700 million in direct and indirect transfers between 2018 and 2022. Now, I've said before that we would go after the entire ecosystem that allows cyber criminals and illicit actors to flourish. Today's action against Bitslotto, as with the disruption of Hydra, reflects another critical step in executing on that strategy. At the time of Adeyemo's arrest, and continuing into the early hours of this morning, the department's international and domestic partners engaged in a coordinated campaign of disruption. That campaign includes law enforcement actions in multiple European countries, the seizure of Bitlotto's servers, and enforcement actions by the Treasury Department here in the United States. These actions show not only the broad scope of the defendant's alleged crimes, but also the international net dropped by law enforcement to stop him and his business partners. With these actions, today marks the end of the Hydra Bitslotto crypto crime axis. We've also busted the business model of the cyber criminals that Bitslotto supported. And coordinated operations like these against Bitslotto, using all tools and designed for maximum impact, are the linchpins of international success against cybercrime. Our actions also mark the most significant enforcement effort against a cryptocurrency exchange by the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team, launched last year following a comprehensive cyber review led by my office. To all of those exploiting the cryptocurrency ecosystem to enable crypto crime, we have a clear message. We will not only target hackers, fraudsters, and criminals that mask their profits in cryptocurrency, we are also unleashing the full force of the Department of Justice on the illicit actors and entities that support cyber criminals, like Adeyemo and Bitslado. Operating offshore or moving your servers out of the continental U.S. will not shield you. And whether you break our laws from China or Europe or abuse our financial system from a tropical island, you can expect to answer for your crimes inside a United States courtroom. I want to thank the agents, analysts, and prosecutors who worked diligently to investigate this case. And finally, a tremendous thanks to our foreign partners and the Treasury Department for their collaboration in this and other cryptocurrency and cybercrime cases. And now let me turn the podium over to Assistant Attorney General Polite.
Thank you, Deputy Attorney General Monaco. When the department announced the creation of the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team in late 2021, we set forth the blueprint on how INSET would work to disrupt criminal abuse of the cryptocurrency ecosystem. We named Eun-Young Choi, an accomplished leader on cyber and cryptocurrency issues, and a seasoned department prosecutor to be INSET's first director. We said that INSET would investigate those who enable the use of digital assets to facilitate crime, with a particular focus on virtual currency exchanges and services. And we said that INSET would enhance the department's collaboration with domestic and foreign partners in aggressively investigating and prosecuting crimes involving cryptocurrency. Today's actions against Bitslado, the first public enforcement action led by INSET, are precisely what we had in mind. As the Deputy Attorney General described, Bitslado is a cryptocurrency exchange that allegedly facilitated illicit activities by making it easier for bad actors, including ransomware groups and dark web drug pushers, to conceal their identities and profit from their misconduct. Bitslado accomplished this in part by flouting key requirements of anti-money laundering programs and helping criminals hide their transactions behind the anonymity of the blockchain. But today, Bitslado's co-founder and senior executive is in handcuffs here in the United States. And agencies around the world have taken strong action to ensure that Bitslado can no longer facilitate crime. None of this would have been possible without strong partnerships on the domestic and international levels between INSET, other parts of the criminal division, the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of New York, and the stellar teams of FBI agents, between U.S. law enforcement and our counterparts in France, and between the department and our colleagues at FinCEN. The department also drew heavily today on its deep bench of international experts, including our new Cyber Operations International Liaison and our legal attaché in Paris. The work announced here today is a textbook case for what we can accomplish when INSET works with its partners here and abroad to disrupt the harm caused by criminal cryptocurrency platforms. And we are just getting started. I now turn the podium over to my colleague, U.S. Attorney Brian Peace.
Thank you, Assistant Attorney General Polite. I'm Brian Peace, United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, and I'm honored to speak today about the work of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, INSET, FBI, and all of our other partners, what we've done with respect to investigating and prosecuting Anatoly Legadimov. Today, my office unsealed charges against Legadimov for operating Bitslato, as you've heard, a cryptocurrency exchange whose stock in trade was that it allowed users to open accounts with minimal identifying information. The result was that Bitslato became a safe haven for criminals, including drug dealers and ransomware groups. They knew that when the police traced their funds to Bitslato, Bitslato would not be able to turn over its users' true identities. The defendant, who is Bitslato's majority shareholder and sat atop of its organizational chart, knew full well about these violations. Bitslato's executives communicated on their encrypted chat system about the proliferation of drug dealers on their exchange and the way that their policy of collecting no identifying information had brought on a flood of, in their words, quote, dirty money, end quote. Bitslato conducted its business in a brazenly lawless manner that is directly at odds with the rules of honesty and integrity that must govern the financial marketplace. To anyone who still believes that they can hide from the law by using cryptocurrency, this prosecution should put that illusion to rest. Although this was a global crime, its effects reverberated in the Eastern District of New York. Bitslato did business with individuals residing in our district. It accepted connections from computers in our district, and the defendant was continuing to administer his company from the moment he stepped off a plane at John F. Kennedy Airport in Queens, New York, last October. Now, my office, the Eastern District of New York, is at the forefront of cryptocurrency prosecutions, and this case continues a string of recent prosecutions in this space. Just 2 weeks ago, we charged a developer of NFTs with defrauding his customers in a rug pull scheme, and last month we charged 4 individuals located in the United States and Canada with sending tens of thousands of dollars worth of cryptocurrency to aid ISIS. And alongside our partners in law enforcement, we are committed to carrying out the most sophisticated and technically demanding prosecutions at a pace that matches the tempo of the criminals we pursue. Our partnership with the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team enhances our work in this space, and we look forward to our continued collaboration. And finally, I want to commend from my office, Assistant United States Attorney Alexander Minland, who is detailed to INSET, and Assistant United States Attorney Artie McConnell, along with INSET trial attorney Scott Meisler and Matthew Blackwood for their excellent work on this case. I'll now turn the podium over to FBI Associate Deputy Director Brian Turner.
Thank you, Breon. I am pleased to represent the FBI here today as part of this announcement of the arrest of Anatoly Legadimov. The arrest that is the culmination of more than a year of hard work by our men and women in the New York office and also across the United States and overseas. Legadimov is a Russian national living in China who was arrested in Miami for the crimes he committed in the United States by operating an unlawful cryptocurrency exchange registered in Hong Kong. He probably thought his cybercriminal enterprise and the dirty digital money that cycled through it were outside the reach of the U.S. government. But he and his Bitslato cryptocurrency exchange were not operating with impunity. Neither was the illicit Hydra darknet marketplace in which Bitslato exchanged over $700 million, as the Deputy Attorney General mentioned a moment ago. We shut down and locked the door on Hydra last April. Both of these actions were made possible because of the FBI's strong relationships with our law enforcement partners around the world. Over the course of our global investigation into Bitslato, we found that more than $15 million of the ransomware proceeds have been laundered through the exchange, making the platform a clear enabler for ransomware actors. Unfortunately for the defendant and Bislato, one thing that the FBI understands is how to take down cybercriminal organizations. And our overall strategy to combat cybercrime involves going after all key parts of that criminal ecosystem mentioned by the Deputy Attorney General, the actors, their finances, and the supporting infrastructure. When you combine this arrest with the French authorities' dismantlement of Bislato's financial infrastructure, digital infrastructure, and the actions taken by the Treasury Department that will be spoken about in just a minute, I'd say we did exactly just that. I can tell you by the folks that I'm standing up here with that we are committed to taking a whole-of-government approach to the fight against financial crime and cybercrime, a fight to protect our country, its citizens, and our national security. So let this be a reminder to the cyber criminals around the world. No matter where you are, no matter how much you twist and turn to cover your tracks, there is a risk and there will be consequences. I'd like now to introduce Deputy Treasury Secretary Wally Adeyemo for some additional remarks.
Let me start out by thanking the Deputy Attorney General for her leadership on this set of issues and for the work that is being done here at the Department of Justice, and to thank our colleagues at the Department of Justice for being such great partners, not just on this action, but on going after this ecosystem more broadly. I think that in addition to thanking our colleagues here, I want to thank the talented men and women at FinCEN for using a new set of authorities that Congress gave us to go after illicit financial action in Russia so quickly and to do it so effectively. One of the things that those people in this ecosystem count on, those who are cyber criminals that work globally, is that they will be able to escape prosecution in the United States or in any other jurisdiction because of a lack of coordination. What today's action actually proves is that is not the case. Working closely with French authorities, we've taken an action here that should demonstrate to cyber criminals around the world that we will work in a global, consolidated fashion to take action against them, to protect our citizens, and to protect the global financial system. Today, as part of the U.S. government's action against the virtual currency exchange Bislato, Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network has taken steps that expose and disrupt Russian cyber criminals and their enablers. FinCEN is officially identifying Bislato as a primary money laundering concern in connection with Russia's illicit finance. Bislato has repeatedly facilitated transactions for Russian-affiliated ransomware groups, including Conti, a ransomware-as-a-service group that has links to the Russian government and to Russian-connected darknet markets. 2/3 of Bislato's top counterparties are associated with darknet markets or scams, and Bislato received virtual currency worth almost $500 million from illicit activity between 2019 and 2021. Nearly 50% of all known Bislato transactions during this time involved Russian illicit finance or otherwise risky sources. Bislato is particularly active in facilitating illicit activity, but it is ultimately part of a larger ecosystem of cyber criminals that are allowed to operate with impunity within Russia. It is well known that Russia is a haven of cyber criminals, where the government often enlists them for its own malicious purposes. The majority of ransomware incidents reported to FinCEN in the second half of 2021, for example, were conducted by Russia-related cyber ransomware actors. At a time when Russia is waging a brutal and unjustified war in Ukraine, and as it seeks to circumvent sanctions and governance controls to fill its coffers and sustain its violence, we will not tolerate criminals' enterprises that enrich Russia's malicious interests. Because of its significant operations in and connection to Russia and Russian illicit finance, Bislato threatens U.S. national security, the integrity of the U.S. and international financial sector, and business and institutions worldwide. Identifying Bislato as a primary money laundering concern effectively renders the exchange an international pariah. It imposes special measures on covered financial institutions, prohibiting them from transmitting funds to or from Bislato or from any account or wallet administered by or on behalf of Bislato. Treasury's actions today sends a clear message that we are prepared to take action against any financial institution, including virtual asset service providers, with lax controls against money laundering, terrorist financing, or other illicit finance. And we will not hesitate to expose and hold accountable virtual asset service providers, darknet markets, or anyone else facilitating cyber criminals using this new authority or other authorities within the Treasury Department. And we look forward to doing this in coordination and collaboration with our colleagues here at the Department of Justice. Thank you.
All right, with that, I think we'll take some questions. CNBC, Eamon, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, thank you. Two questions if I could. I mean, the first one is, Adeyemo is a Russian national who lived in China, was operating there. What was he doing in Miami, which obviously puts him at risk of being picked up by the FBI? And the second question I have is, what are you learning so far about Bitslato's customer base who was using this exchange? And are you seeing any overlap between the other big exchange, which is in the news lately, which is FTX?
So I'll start off on your first question. Don't really have anything more to say about Mr. Adeyemo's activities in Miami, other than the fact that in the early morning hours he was arrested by agents of the FBI, and we're going to take it from there. And can you repeat your second question?
The second question is, what are you learning about the customer base of Bitslato, who is using that service? I think Wally Adeyemo talked about that a little bit a second ago. And whether you're seeing any overlap between that customer base and the customer base at FTX, which obviously is in the news right now.
Well, I'll start and see if either Kenneth or the U.S. Attorney want to make any additional comments. I'm not going to speak to the ongoing investigation and matter regarding FTX, but as alleged in the court papers unsealed today, and as referenced by the U.S. Attorney, Bitslato was being used by a host of cyber criminals to form, as I noted, this high-tech axis of crypto crime, used to launder funds, used to buy and sell and host the wallets of those buying and selling illicit goods. But let me see if either the Assistant Attorney General or the U.S. Attorney want to add.
Just to second the comments from our Deputy Attorney General, I would simply note that the defendant here has been charged in a criminal complaint. There is always a possibility that additional charges may follow, and in particular, our investigative efforts continue both here and abroad.
All right. Sadie, Wall Street Journal.
Hi there. This question's for the deputy. These questions are for the Deputy Attorney General. I'm wondering what message these coordinated actions should send to the broader crypto markets, and if there is any sort of geopolitical significance to the fact that he was living in China, but was a Russian national. And also, while we have you up here, I am hoping that you might say whether you anticipate your specials counsel investigations will be wrapped up by the end of the year when the midterm election cycle is in full swing.
Well, on your second question, I've got no predictions to make and nothing to add to what the Attorney General announced last week. And on your first question, I think what today's actions really show is, one, we will work in a coordinated and a collaborative fashion with partners here in the United States and more broadly all around the globe to root out those who seek to exploit the cryptocurrency markets, those who seek to find safe haven in countries, whether they're Russia, whether they're China, whether they're places in Europe, and that there is no place that is beyond the reach of U.S. law enforcement and our partners.
Daphne from Reuters, one of our friends from Treasury.
Thank you so much. Did you find any link between Bitslato and Russia's conflict in Ukraine? And did Russian actors use Bitslato to circumvent sanctions imposed as a result of the conflict in Ukraine?
So as my colleagues have said, our investigation continues, and what we do know is that Russia has set up an ecosystem that is permissive for cyber criminals and for the ecosystem that allows them to finance those crimes. Our goal is to ensure that Russia can't use cryptocurrency or other means to circumvent our sanctions. That is part of why we use this new authority to go after Bitslato, to make clear that now they're an international pariah. And our message to those actors who want to use crypto to try and circumvent our sanctions in Russia or in any other jurisdiction in which we put in put in place sanctions is that we will, in collaboration and coordination with our allies and partners, and with the Department of Justice, find you, go after you, and take actions against you using the tools at our disposal.
The amount of crypto sent to illicit actors reached an all-time high in 2022. To what degree do you deem these transactions, first of all, as a national security threat for the U.S., specifically when it comes to crypto, but also expanding on the potential sanctions evasion more broadly and beyond Russia as well? To what extent these transactions should be deemed as a threat to the general efficacy of U.S. sanctions?
I'll start and then turn it over to the Deputy Secretary. Look, I think what we have shown in these actions, as well as the takedown of the Hydra darknet marketplace, is that those who are seeking to exploit the cryptocurrency markets by ignoring or flouting the regulations that are put in place and the laws that are put in place to give consumers, to give investors confidence in our markets, to give them confidence in our financial system, we will root that out. We will go after and use whatever tool it takes to find those who are seeking to hide in the shadows and who seek to try and exploit the anonymity that they think the blockchain provides, the anonymity that they think this technology provides. And what our efforts have shown is that that's not the case. Those activities, whether it's laundering the proceeds of ransomware attacks, certainly do pose a security concern, and that's why we will be unrelenting in our efforts, and we will continue to take a coordinated approach, an international and global approach to this challenge. I don't know, Wally, if you want to add?
Just a word. And I agree completely with the Deputy Attorney General. What I will say is that there are those who try to use any new technology to try and commit crimes. And here cyber criminals are attempting to use new technology when it comes to virtual assets. And our message to them and our message to the industry is that we expect them to follow the same rules of the road that are followed by other financial institutions and intermediaries, and that ecosystem is a place where we will not permit illicit finance to go on. The action today should be seen by that industry and by actors there who seek to try and evade our sanctions or to violate laws or to in some ways impact our national security as a tool that we will use in the future when it comes to Russia and illicit finance. But as I said earlier, we have other tools that we're prepared to use as well, because our view is that virtual currencies, the traditional financial system, should not be used to transmit an illicit finance, and we're prepared to act to make sure that that is the case.
One last question, Alex Mallon, ABC.
So if convicted, I saw this defendant faces a max of 5 years in prison. With the scale of wrongdoing that you kind of have all outlined, what do you say to people who would kind of say that the punishment here doesn't seem to fit the crime? And then for the deputy, the White House has been saying since the news of these classified documents were found broke, that they hadn't been more forthcoming because of their cooperation with the Justice Department. To be clear, has the Justice Department at any time since November told the White House that they cannot discuss the facts of this case?
So on your second question, I'm not going to comment on anything beyond what the Attorney General has said last week in announcing the appointment of a special counsel and what he has said more broadly, which is that we don't talk about our investigations in a public forum. And for your first question, I'll turn it over to the U.S. Attorney.
Sure. So to be clear, this is, in our view, a serious crime, which we are taking very seriously. The outcome of the case is premature to anticipate that, and it's important to note that the investigation is ongoing. So there could be, as the Assistant Attorney General said, additional charges down the line.
I know we didn't get to everybody's questions. We've got some subject matter experts here for folks that have on-topic questions, and I think that's going to do it for us today.
Deputy Attorney General, can you speak to the Republicans who say that you're being unfair to the former president?
All right, there you have it. Basically, what we learned about this is I don't know what we learned, everyone. Seriously, like that was crazy. That was seriously crazy. Okay, so some of the things I just wanted to talk to you about right now, and let's just go over some quick market observations right now. you can see that the majority of the market has clawed their way on back. We're not there just yet. Bitcoin's just under 21,000, ETH at 1552. But some of these, right? Solana isn't there. Avalanche isn't there. Near isn't. I mean, there's quite a few that never regained what they lost during this announcement, which was really, really crap. Okay. The DOJ, let's be real here, everyone who's watching this. The DOJ essentially used crypto as a buzzword to lure people into watching this, all right? And we all fell for it because all of us were sitting here thinking, oh, it's Tether, it's this, it's that. But the DOJ used the crypto buzzword, especially while the market was green. Kind of crazy how that works, right? But they used crypto as a buzzword to make it seem like they were doing right for the people. Oh, we stopped this organization, $700 million, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, Mashinsky is in the United States blowing through billions, claiming FDIC insurance. Scam Bankman Greed is out there blowing through billions, screwing people over in the United States. Basically, the DOJ, what you saw right here was them trying to make themselves look better to the public by using the crypto buzzword, using the Russia buzzwords, using the China buzzwords. Oh, drink. Hey, I said Russia. I said China. Bitslotto, drink. Everyone's got to drink. You guys know the rules. I saw it in the chats what was going on. But this is crazy. I mean, this was just typical government crap, everyone. This is a little frustrating here. And I, not that I'm, you know what I mean? Not that I'm upset that what we saw wasn't more crypto related, but think of what the market did, okay? The market, yeah, I feel catfish too, Eric. Swear to God, man, that's seriously how I feel. But think of what the market did. The market, I mean, tanked. This was a worse tank than when the FTX action first happened, right? Faster too. The market tanked because we're sitting out here and we're going, oh my God, what's happening? Are they going to knock down Tether? Are they going to knock down Binance? What the hell is going on? But you could see the market's clawing its way on back. And I think that's just, yeah, Gary Gensler bought the dip. This was crap, man. This was crap. This was the Department of Justice using buzzwords, and I'm going to make you all drink. So y'all are going to be dead-ass drunk by the end of this damn live stream. You better drink up because I'm sober Susie with my branched chain amino acids because I have to train so damn much now. But seriously, they use the buzzwords of Russia, China, Ukraine, Bitslotto, bad actors, all that stuff. And yes, at the same time, we have bad actors all across the United States getting away with stuff. And yet here they are patting themselves on the back. Sniff asks, is there a platform you're on where things that YouTube would censor could be discussed? No, actually I'm not. It's a good idea. I got to look into that because there are a lot of things that I would like to discuss in general, but I can't because YouTube would totally block it out. But what bugs me about this, though, is that, seriously, look at the damage it did to the market. Okay, I'm not a Solana fan, okay? But Solana is still down 5.5%. Avalanche still down 6.2%. Why did Avalanche holders need to get destroyed like this? Like, come on, this is horrible. This is totally horrible. This was market manipulation at its finest. You know what this was? And I'm going to go out on a limb and say it. U.S. government officials seeing that crypto was on the way up, right? We had soft CPI data. I did a story earlier about soft financials when it comes to the retail sales market. This was U.S. government officials out there taking a shot at crypto, using crypto as a buzzword, when the reality is what they should have said was, we took down a nefarious ring. Come on, man. Come on. This is total crap. Look at the... Okay, I did the live stream. The reason I did the live stream is so that everyone could be caught up to speed on what was going on. Think of everyone else out there that sold, panic sold, thinking, oh my God, the whole market turned red. And that was it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they screwed people here. Think of all the people in the know. Think of people that aren't in the United States. All right, and I know a lot of you viewers aren't in the United States, and no one had an idea what the hell, was happening. And then all of a sudden, boom, you see all your crypto holdings are red? What an absolute disgusting mess from the United States government. Patting themselves on the back for something that did not require as much oomph as they put into it. They scared the shit out of the markets. Scared the absolute shit out of the crypto market. So for those of you out there that hold Avalanche, I'm super sorry that the government had to screw you like that. But this is horrible. This is absolutely atrocious by the government. Patting yourselves on the back for this crap when in our own backyard, your Mashinskis and all those guys, right? Your Scam Bankman-Frieds and all that. You know, we're still not talking about Ellison. Caroline Ellison was a bad actor too. So was Gary Huang. Come on. This was just absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. And this was catfishing and clickbaiting at the same time by the government. You know what? The government should have a damn YouTube page because they were so good at clickbaiting all of us. Come on. And at the end, they shut their questions down because they knew this was crap. Total crap, man. And Robert, this was definitely clickbait to cause fear in the markets. Definitely clickbait to cause fear in the markets. And Bitcoin is going to be getting here. Bitcoin's going to break through that 21,000 mark. But I feel bad because XRP was getting close to that 40 cent mark. XLM was at like 8.8 before this happened. So you tell me, what did this have to do with XLM? What did this have to do with XRP? Any of those? Had nothing to do with it. The market is very fragile. Nico, I just saw your comment. This proves how weak the market is and how easily spooked it is. Exactly. The market is super spooked out there. So let me start asking you guys this question. Jerome Powell and the Fed, 25 or 50 basis point hit. Tell me the market is not going to move one way or another super hard on that news. You know it as well as I do right now that the market is so fragile. The market is so scared right now. I mean, come on. Tim chimes in and says, hey, Klaus, in the news conference, they never cited a U.S. code violation. I agree. I didn't hear one either. I mean, most of you guys are probably drunk from having a drink during all the damn buzzwords they use, but come on. This was the crypto market on the way up. Okay, and we know that the SEC, CFTC, and all the other alphabet agencies out there are pissed that the market is rallying on good news, right? CPI data being soft and other macros kind of softening up a little bit. That they were pissed. This was their way of taking the market down. Come on. You can't cry wolf that long, everyone, and that was bullshit. That was serious crap by the United States government right there. I'm sorry. I've traveled a lot in the world, and I've seen a lot of countries, and I've seen what people deal with. And the U.S. is a good country. But holy crap is the U.S. filled with a bunch of losers, and those bunch of losers are at the top of the organizational pyramid. God, exactly. True Duke, you got it right, man. I'm sorry. True Dukel, my bad on that. Says, this fear is exactly what they want. I have none against them. But the problem is, you guys, for those that don't follow the news, for those that aren't paying attention to stuff like this, that aren't following macros, that aren't following the crypto market, they're getting shaken out. I mean, come on. This was very frustrating. Very, very frustrating on my end to watch. Because I was sitting here just like a lot of you going, okay, all right, prepare for the worst, prepare for Tether, prepare for Binance to get their asses handed to them, and nothing. Rodwell Nobrega said it has the best comment out there. They're chasing innocent people out of the market. Exactly. That's exactly what this was. This was a ploy to hit the market on the way up to scare more people out that were getting in, to scare people into selling. Come on. This is just atrocious. And I get it, okay? I get it. Crypto has its own problems. Exchanges have their own problems. KYC, AML stuff. I get all that, all right? But before crypto, we use cash to pay for we use cash to pay for our drugs. You're always going to find a way around it. You ban crypto, I'm going to use something else. You ban something else, I'm going to use something else on top of that to do my nefarious activities. But the fact that they use crypto as a buzzword to garner attention from an entire community, because you guys know as well as I do, we were all thinking bad things. Bad things. We all were thinking, oh shit, here comes Tether, we're going to get destroyed. I mean, this is crap. Total crap. Nefarious activities are done with cash, crypto, bartering. You write a check, for Christ's sake. You can money launder. I mean, there's so many different ways to do it. This was just a joke. ZX Gamer 22 says, how many people panic sold? Tons. You'll be able to go DeFi Llama. If you go on DeFi Llama, they've got a lot of good inflow and outflows. When you go to the outflow charts and you go to the hourly, watch the outflow. It's bad. It'll be bad. It'll be really, really bad for that hour. There were so many people that got squeezed out. So many people. I just it's hard. I think you're seeing every attempt by governments across the globe to shake people out of something that they know eventually that they're going to need to rely on, which is cryptocurrencies. That's what this was. That's totally what this was, and how many people fell for it. And seriously, you got to feel bad. I mean, think about it. You know as well as I do. All right? You know that there were some Avalanche fans out there. I'll put Avalanche up on the screen. You know there were a bunch of Avalanche fans out there that freaked out seeing nasty 7, 8, 9% dips. Going, oh, crap, I just lost how much? Oh, my God, now what? And you know they sold. And why? Because the government put fear in the market by using cryptocurrency? Like, that's just disgusting. That's just so disgusting right now. Check this out. Watch what happens when I go to a news aggregator, all right? When I go to a news aggregator, they're all going to be talking about, you know, the Bits Lotto thing, right? And that has to do with crypto, has to do with crypto, has to do with crypto. No. Man, this is, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be frustrated, everyone, but this is really hard. I've spent so much time in my life, all right, covering this stuff to see government agencies manipulate it with the crap that they are. Use it as buzzwords. God, it's so horrible. Nico chimes in, and thank you, channel members out there. Your support means so much to the channel, especially now. YouTube is not paying crap now for views. So channel members, your support now is super thank you now before continuous. Thanks from me to you, seriously. But Nico chimes in, when Alpha Bay and Silk Road was busted, you never heard so much publicity on the topic. Yeah, exactly. And think of how big Silk Road was, man. God dang. Nazar says, Klaus, do you think the scammer news will have long-term effect? I mean, no, I don't think so. You're already seeing the markets rebound. I think you're going to see some of the alts struggle a bit more. Now, why they struggle, I don't know. We're going to have to dig into data to see if there was more just selling at that point. Like, what was the reason for more pressure? But you can already see Bitcoin is right there, right at that 21,000 mark. And ETH was so close. I did a story earlier this morning. ETH was at like 1590, and I'm like, oh my God. Get ETH to 1,600, and that'll be a big sigh of relief for the markets, you know? Oh, it's just frustrating, man. So frustrating out there. And UserX, good comment on that. UserX said ISO coins didn't dive that hard. We know it's up. Yeah, utility tokens did not take as much of a beating. But that being said, Bitcoin took the least of the beating on everything. Barrel Tech says they admitted that crypto was used to find him. Very true. Very true. Be very careful out there, everyone. And I'm not giving you guys advice on what to do. All right. So whoever is watching this from YouTube, if you're going to do nefarious activities, just throwing it out there, I'll recommend a few things: anonymizer, VPN, and several shadow wallets. I'll also suggest that you use cash. Cash. Okay. Cash. I don't care what you say. Yes, you can track crypto. You can't track cash. Cash does not work that way at all. Oh, man. Rodwell Nobrega says, I'm glad I'm watching it with you, Klaus, to see the truth. Yes, thank you very much, everyone, for watching, because this stuff does get frustrating. This stuff is super frustrating. You know, and think about what this news did. What in the world did anything that was announced, and this is what bugs me a little bit about crypto. This is how you know that crypto isn't mature enough yet as a market. And I don't mean in a negative way. I'm just talking about in a market way. Why did XLM go down and is still down 3.3% when it had nothing to do with XLM? Why? That's not right. That's not fair. And I understand, you know, the world's not fair. I get that. But when the governments are manipulating price, you bet your butt I'm going to stand up to them. God, that's just crazy. Just crazy. And think about it, you know, like XRP, same thing. Why did XRP have to take a beating? XRP was getting right close to that 40-cent mark. That's a key level for XRP. Key level for XRP. And because of this, they knocked him on down. Devious Ally official says gold is good. Yes, gold is great. I love gold, by the way. I'm a huge gold fan. Huge gold fan. ZX Gamer says Zcash is untraceable until you have to off-ramp it. You always got to off-ramp it, ladies and gents, and that's where the scary part of crypto is. It's the off-ramping that gets you in trouble. Not so much on the protocol level, you know, like, or what you're swapping with. It's the off-ramping that gets you. As soon as you off-ramp it, how do you off-ramp it? You have to do it through traditional finance, don't you? And that's where you get pinched. That is where you get pinched. Oh, God, was that frustrating. Frustrating as all get up. Yeah, I just saw the comment from Ty Clark Shib. Up. I mean, that's impressive. How the heck did they get through this pain train? I'm going to move this heat map to an hour. Don't freak out. Heat map's on the hour right now. You can see on the hour we're pretty much sideways, so the news is really not having much effect. On the 1 day right now, you're looking at 20,917 for Bitcoin, ETH at 1546. The news that broke was basically the government patting themselves on the back for breaking up a crime ring when there's so many things in the market that they could do. Michael O2 says, hey, they want to see a reaction so they control the market. True. Very true. What's up, Ben? How are you doing? Good, sir. Ben chimes in. Hey, Klaus. Hey, everyone. Hope you are well. Yep, same to you, Ben. If you missed it, basically what it was the DOJ, along with the Treasury, they busted Bitslotto, going after, you know, dark web, dark market kind of stuff. They used crypto as a buzzword to lure people in to thinking they were doing something right for people. All right? Citing KYC, AML stuff, that kind of crap. I get it. I get it. But the reality is this really had nothing to do with crypto as so much as it had to do with just nefarious actors outside of the United States that finally flew into the United States. So, oh man, this just, horrible, horrible mess. Horrible, horrible mess. I don't see how the government out there could pat themselves on the back the way they did so frequently with that. Very, very frustrating. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the stream going for about like another 10 minutes or so. My voice is really, really struggling here as of late. With the humidity and the temperature swings we've had, I have just had a really, really tough time with my voice here as of late. So we're going to keep the stream going for another 10 minutes. So if you guys got questions or comments, now's the time to say them or type them, whatever the hell you guys do in the chat. Yes, we got to drain the swamp. We got to drain the swamp of all sides of all governments. They're all corrupt out there, man. All corrupt out there. And seriously, what did we learn from this? Cryptos that had nothing to do with this. Avalanche had nothing to do with this, and they got pummeled. People lost money because the government had to pat themselves on the back publicly in order to make themselves look better. And true, Ben, it's so true, man. Manipulation. They bought the dip, and that's the whole thing. This was the government knowing that crypto was on its way up, and they used crypto as a buzzword to knock crypto on back down. But here's the thing. Look at the resilience, though. Look at how quickly Bitcoin's coming back up. How quickly Ethereum is coming back up. XRP is rebounding from the low. XLM got down to 8.1. They're back up to 8.4. I mean, this is the thing of crypto that you guys are seeing right now live, right? In our lives. Not just live like on this live stream, but in our lives. The resiliency of crypto. I want you to think of how resilient other markets out there, okay, are when you have a big falling out of like a Celsius, a Luna, 3AC, Voyager, FTX. All right, what other industry out there could withstand such a brutal abuse, not just by the fallouts of these companies, but by the overreach of regulators out there? No other industry out there could survive what crypto is doing, and crypto is still moving on up. On the way up. That's right, everyone. And when you're like, well, wait a minute, Klaus, price is down. Yeah, because they've tried their hardest to beat it into the ground and to kill everyone out of it. But it's not working. All right? The people that are in crypto now are the ones that are going to stay. If you haven't sold by now, ain't nothing going to shake you out of this. Nothing is going to shake you out of this. And I think that's someone that everyone who's watching this stream right now, the 260 plus people that are watching this stream right now, and thank you everyone for watching. Great stream today. But the people that are watching this right now know there is no way, hell or high water, that you're selling, is there? Right? If you haven't sold with the FTX crash, Luna, 3AC, Voyager, all that kind of stuff, what the hell is it that's going to make you sell? And that's what the governments are trying to do here. They're trying to show us control. Richard Young, thank you. Richard Young, great comment, Richard Young. Richard Young said they would never do this to the stock market. That's damn straight. That's damn straight. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up, everyone. Hold up. I'm ready to give Gary Gensler the big FU. Because you know what? Gary Gensler considers all of crypto a security, right? Right? Just think about it. Stocks are securities, aren't they? When was the last time you were able to take your stocks and go buy some nefarious things with them? You can't. You have to off-ramp those stocks. You have to off-ramp them to fiat. And then you could buy nefarious things. But with crypto, you don't have to offer it. People are taking direct payment for crypto. That's not a security, is it, everyone? No, it's not. So just like with this whole Bits Lotto thing that's going on right now, it's not like people are like, you know what, I'm going to take my Apple stock and trade it in for a pound of goodies. No. You got to sell your Apple stock to buy the pound of goodies, to then get cash. God, this is so frustrating. And thank you, Ben. I greatly appreciate it, dude. Ben has been a massive supporter of this channel, everyone. So from me to you and a sincere mark, Ben, thank you very much. And everyone should thank Ben too, seriously. Everyone should thank Ben because Ben has been helping this channel out since the beginning. He has made a lot of things possible. So please, everyone, take the time, thank Ben. Because of people like Ben, this channel is able to go on further and further, harder and harder. But we have to think about that, right? You have to think about that. You can't use stock directly. I cannot, like, let's say I wanted to support you or you wanted to support me on this channel. You can't give me a share of Apple. It doesn't work that way. You got to sell it, then give me the money from it, right? But if you wanted to give me crypto directly, I could give you my wallet, done. And so when Gary Gensler and all the authorities out there are trying to control and rule crypto, they're using outdated laws, outdated standards that don't apply. Does crypto have some, traits of securities? Yes, of course it does. But it has traits now outside of securities. It really does. That's why crypto is something different. That's why crypto falls in line with like the internet. When the internet came out, the rules that were there of traditional media did not fit it. They did not fit. We had to create a whole new set of standards for the internet because we were like, well, wait a minute, wait. We had servers over here, but we're accessing it here, and those laws didn't fit. They did not fit, so we had to make new ones. Why are governments across the globe, and speaking of Ben and all the other fans out there, and what's up, Wigbusta, but speaking of all the other fans out there, why are they delaying all the MiCA stuff again? Delay by the government. Screw people over time and time again. They're trying to push people out because they know the people that got big into the internet, that were able to get through the late 90s, early 2000s tech boom, those were the ones that made money. If you invested in the right companies, if you found and followed their books and what they did and patterns and so forth, you made tons of money. This is just the government trying to stop that. They're trying to stop it with crypto. It's so frustrating. And yes, we do need regulations now. That is so true. You need regulations now that are appropriate to the technology that we are dealing with. All right? You cannot, I repeat, you cannot tomorrow go take your Apple stock and go to United Airlines and buy a flight. You can't. But did you know that you could buy a flight to Davos for the World Economic Forum using crypto? Oh, you can. That's right. Did you know that you could have gone to Meridian 2022 paying for it with XLM? Oh, interesting. Where's Wigbuster at? I saw Wigbuster here. Wigbuster, what did you tell me earlier? You can use XRP to buy gold. Oh, I can't use my Apple stock to buy gold, can I? No, I can't. So freaking frustrating, man. So freaking frustrating. It's just, this is just something, all right, that I think governments out there, they're going to try their hardest to shake everyone out. Today was an example. Today was an example of the government out there showing us that they have some big marbles. And let's be real here, they have some big marbles. But the problem is their marbles are filled with FUD, with junk, with garbage. Because look, the market's already coming back. So what they did had no long-term effect. All they did was try to flex their muscles, showing the market, hey, we're in control. It's a joke. It is an absolute joke. And the buzzwords that they threw around here. How many times? Okay. Do not, I repeat, all right? For the health and safety of the viewers of this channel, I repeat, do not rewatch this live stream and drink every time they said Bitslotto, China, or Russia. Or bad actors. Don't drink, you'll be dead. You'll have alcohol poisoning by then. This was a buzzword-filled fear factory presentation by the government out there. By the government. George says, Klaus, you need to go camping again. Come up here to Alaska. Alaska's on my thing, man. I want to go to Alaska. I'm actually training super hard right now. That's why I'm sober, Susie. But I'm training really hard right now because I may head to the mountains in the snow out in Colorado because I'm really, really itching for it. I just know I got to be in really, really good shape to deal with altitude and snow because it'll kick the crap out of my asthma. But man, it's just very frustrating, all right? So what we're going to do is this. We are going to go until 1:10 today, okay, everyone? We're going to go until 1:10 today, and then I'm going to shut it down just so I can give my voice a little bit of a rest. I will tell you this, though. I will tell you this. If you hate Gary Gensler, and if you think the SEC is a bunch of scumbags and losers, and if you ever wanted to stick it to Gary Gensler and the SEC, I've got a video for you tomorrow that I'm releasing. Yep, I'm not releasing it today. I'm saving it for tomorrow. The SEC messed up big time, and we caught them, and I'm going to share it with you tomorrow because that's when I'm going to release the darn video. Sniff says, we will continue to have these issues until we address the elephant in the room, and the elephant wears a small hat. It's the idea, though, that it's not just a group of people. It's people of power, all right? People of power. There was a comment, okay? There was a comment I saw. Remember, I broke on Twitter the whole thing with Ukraine and CBDCs and Stellar, right? And someone said, yeah, but the Ukraine is one of the most corrupt governments out there. Do you really feel comfortable with Stellar working with a corrupt government? And my response was, who isn't corrupt at this point? All right, for my friends in Canada. All right, oh yeah, this will really screw up the algorithms. Jordan Peterson's getting screwed, isn't he? For what, speaking his mind? Right? You guys know about Jordan Peterson. Yeah, look what the Canadian government's doing to them. What about the Freedom Convoy? Boy, we're really going to blow the YouTube algorithms out on this video. What about the Freedom Convoy? Canadian government didn't like people protesting against them? Come on, Trudeau. Is your ego that frail? You suffer from tiny pee-pee disease? Is that the problem? What about Australia? Australia had a massive problem. Taking them out of their homes and putting them in Rona camps? Are you serious? What, Ben, again, thank you, Ben. I love it, man. All right? Here's the problem. And Ben knows what I'm talking about. You guys had a PM that lasted, 42 or 45 days because of all the resignations? There was shadiness that's going on. There is no government out there that isn't shady. You just have to pick what version of shady you want to, quote, put your money in to know where you want to make your money from. Russia, same thing. Ukraine, shady. Iran, shady. They're all shady. The majority of the African countries are run by shady tribal leaders. That's true. You can't deny that one. It's just what side of the fence you want to be on. What perspective do you want to have? This is what's bugging me about this whole thing out there. Governments are a mess. Crypto Quest chimes in, I don't think Trudeau has a PP at all. If he does, he's got an innie, not an outie. But think about that. I mean, you're trying to silence your critics. What about freedom of speech? I have critics left and right, guys. I have critics left and right that trash me on this platform. I don't ban any of them. Not a single one. Because I believe that they should have the right to trash me. I don't believe that I should be surrounded by an echo chamber of everyone thinking what I do is right. Because some of the critics of me are like, oh, okay, cool, I get it. You know, I understand. I understand their point of view, and I have to keep that in mind. But to have an ego like these government officials are having out there, it's a mess. Absolute mess. What about all the stuff with the Rona and the plandemic? What, we're not allowed to question science? I'm a man of science myself. I have a heavy background in math and science. All science was questioning. Questioning and using the data to take you to the next point. Then you question data next point, and it's just kind of a continuous cycle, continuous improvement loop. But to sit there and to think that we shouldn't question science, we shouldn't question things, and okay, obviously this live stream is going to get destroyed by the algorithm, so off, okay, algorithm? But I want you to think about this. When the pandemic happened, how many governments out there, all right, how many governments out there said, hey, you know what? Get more rest, drink more water, eat healthier, lose weight, exercise more? No. Instead, they shut down gyms. They isolated people. They told you to be reliant upon medicine that was never proven. Oh, yeah, this is going to totally bomb the algorithm. I'm frustrated by it. I'm very frustrated by it because the government assumes that most people are sheep. And what I'm learning from this community, the community that I'm part of, and I'm blessed to be part of this community with you. Trust me, this isn't my channel. This is our channel. I just end up being the guy on camera, okay? The bumbling idiot on camera. But our community that we have, we know what's going on. We know the exploitation that's happening by governments. And we see it. We feel it. We deal with it every day. I went to DC. Ben knows exactly what this is about. I wanted to go to DC so I could cover the Freedom Convoy myself. And you know what the worst part was? As a person in the United States, my fundraising efforts got blocked and even got refunded. You can ask Ben about it. That's a huge problem. So you're telling me as an independent Web3 journalist, I don't have the right to investigate stories? Whoa, girlfriend, you're barking up the wrong tree because Big Daddy don't play that way. And that's what bugs me about this. That's why, like, all the stuff from Fauci and all that kind of crap, you have to question science. You have to. Science evolves. Science changes. That's the beauty of science. As technology grows, so does the evolution of treatment. So does the evolution of problem solving. We don't use the same methods to extract teeth as we did 100 years ago, right? Take the shot of rum and rip that bad boy out. No, we've got Novocaine, lidocaine, all those kind of things, right? Things evolve. Now we have like ultrasonic devices and all that. Should we question it? Yes, all the time. Question with the idea of improvement. God, is it just messing? Yeah, and I was not a vax person as well. I'm not at all. You know what I did during the Rona? I exercised more. I slept better. I changed my diet even better. I was good, you know what I mean? It's not like I was in bad shape, nothing like that. But I ramped it up a little bit. I took the proactive ways. What about obesity with kids? And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be getting on this, but I just have to say this. What about obesity with kids? You have the FDA recommending drugs for kids and weight loss? No. Teach them the proper things to eat, exercise, diet, control. Stop with this whole reliance upon medicine. God, is it frustrating. It does. Crispy, you're right. The rabbit hole does go very, very deep. Michael O2 says, I can give you a pair if you give me your banana. Appreciate that. Totally appreciate that. Guys, it's hard. It's very, very hard, you know? But I'm glad that the community that we've built here, with seriously, thanks to your help and thanks to people like Ben out there, Jimbo, the channel members, it's you guys have done some amazing things, made amazing things happen. So nope, I will not quit. Nope, I will not back down. I will keep bringing the news. You know I'm going to expose stuff like this. I just wish that today the government would have done something right and not catfished us and clickbait us, saying that they were doing the better good for people because of people using crypto to get around nefarious things. Whatever. Just jokes, man. Just jokes. But this is what I'm going to do right now. I am going to play some tunes. Make sure you guys all please say thank you to Ben for the support of the channel. Ben, I completely appreciate it. Thank you to channel members out there. I'm going to play some tunes, leave the heat map up. I'm going to hang out on chat a little bit so y'all could say your goodbyes. Thank you, everyone, very much for watching. Until more news breaks, you cool cats, have a great rest of your day.